Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a new video on Eve. This one's going to be on haulers and industrials and why people are complaining about getting ganked with them all the time and what you can do to prevent it. Alright, so for those who don't know, ganking is when your ship gets destroyed basically. And it would be totally acceptable, and I wouldn't look down on anyone who got ganked in a system below 0.5 because you're allowed to shoot there. Great job. It wasn't really your fault. You go there accepting the risk and whatnot. But it's when I see people getting ganked in high security space, 0.5 or above, with their hauler like something stupid like a Badger, which is a really low tier industrial, loaded with like 2plex in it or something stupid. It's mind-bogglingly dumb what some people do in this game. Now the purpose of this video is to show you how to not get ganked and how to avoid it, and some general rule of thumb to prevent that. So what I'm gonna use right here, I'm gonna show, is I'll make active a ship that you would commonly see in high sec. This is a very good example of what not to do. So you can see that it's fit with, you might look at it and say, hey, there's shields. I got 3 medium shield extender 2s, adaptive invulnerability field 2. Hey, it's all set for tank. You got 4k EHP, 4.5. And what's even better, even with that 4.5, you got all this cargo hold optimizations. But there's a problem. If you look past the shields, you can clearly see that the armor is 600 HP, which is absolutely abysmal. The structure is 316, and on top of that, it doesn't even have a damage control, so it's straight up 0% across the board. Now this is something you want to fit if, I don't know, you want to carry a lot, like 33,000, almost 34k meters cubed. Now that's great if you're hauling, I don't know, like titanium, Veldspar, something like that. That's great. But there's other ships for that. The 2 Gallente ships, one of them is for hauling ore, one of them is for hauling minerals. I'll put it at the bottom, or I'll slap it here, I don't know, I'll do whatever. Those are what you want to use. They're specialty ships. This problem with this is that a lot of the time people will just throw like a couple high value items in here and fly off. Not only is it stupid, because you could have used something smaller, it's double stupid because people are commonly scanning cargo ships more often than they are scanning, I don't know, a combat ship flying through. Like, it's really not intelligent to do that. Now there's one here which is kind of, it's in the mid-range. It's not that untanked, but it's also at the same time pretty shittily tanked. Problems with this is it's got an armor tank, a structure tank, and a shield tank all at the same time. Now if you had instead opted away from that, because the first problem with this obviously is that the cargo hold optimization, which if you show info on it, it takes away structure, or what's it do? It takes away armor amount, right? So what you're doing in effect of having the cargo hold optimization and the armor is kind of just nullifying both. Like, especially with the bulkheads, these are all kind of working against each other. You want to choose one and keep with one. This is just not a good idea, this entire ship, and not only that, but it's kind of ruined the cargo hold. It's only 6.9 thousand meters cubed, which is not that good. If we take a look at something like this ship right here, it has 5.6, but with all modules active, and if we use the invulnerability field, and if we use the damage control too, we're going all the way up to 25k EFT, which is the fitting program for Eve that you don't have to be logged in for, is showing up to 30k. Now that's a lot better, and you only lose 1,000 meters cubed, which is fantastic. You can see that this one mostly focuses upon core defense field extenders right across the board. I've opted to not use the bulkheads because they would make the already small cargo hold even smaller. So instead of throwing some cheap compact plates on it, I threw a cargo hold 2s on it. We're just basically forgetting about structure of this thing, and what we're doing is focusing on one thing, which is shield. I almost have 10k shield, and that's really good. What I could have done instead actually was take off these plates and put on some power upgrades, and I could probably try and roll out with a large shield extender on top of that, which would give me about another 1000 shield EHP, which would be actually better in the long run because the resistances are way higher. Now obviously it would be different for different racial ships, like Gallente, Amar, Caldari are all going to be different, but they're all going to solve you're all going to be working on the same problem, is minimizing the risk. Now what I want to say is, to minimize the risk of hauling expensive stuff, is just don't haul it in something stupid. Like if I was carrying a Plex, I personally would take a tank to hell, Dominic's or something, and honestly I don't think it's going to be really hard to get through that. What people try and do is take, if they try and haul stuff in shuttles because they have quick align times, wouldn't recommend that. You could get away with a interceptor fit for insta warping. It's pretty good with interceptors too because they're immune to the warp bubbles, although if you're in high sec that's obviously not an issue at all, so you probably are pretty safe with that. If you haul it in like a freighter or something, you can be bumped off grid, and you will be bumped off grid eventually. It's just a simple matter of time, unless you have some good bookmarks after docks. But even at stations or stargates, you'll appear and you'll just be knocked by interceptor, and you can't warp out in time, and you'll be knocked around, bumped around, until the aggressors can find enough people to field a couple Taloses, whatnot. What else they used? Taloses, just battle cruisers that can fit the battleship grade weapons. They have high alpha damage. They'll completely wreck a freighter. I'll put a kill mail on the bottom to show. I'll also throw that Badger kill mail if I can find it. It's absolutely hilarious. I don't know why you'd ever do that. It's just so fucking stupid. I can't even. Money doesn't buy brains. It shows an Eve a lot. It just, so many times you just face palm at some of the shit people do, but whatever. It's making a good target for other people. But if everyone just tried not to get ganked, they wouldn't have as much of a problem as ganking, because they wouldn't have as much of a lucrative outset, or lucrative outlook, I suppose is the right word, but they just do, because people like to fly around in paper bags full of Plex, which is essentially what this is. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you learned something. So basically the tip of the day is don't fly around in big pinatas full of Plex or expensive officer modules or anything really. There's a rule or something like 1,000,000 ISK per every 1k EHP or something like that. I'll put it at the bottom again. I forget all the stuff before I do it, but it was something like 1,000,000 ISK for every 1,000 EHP, which at this point you can see the ship would be one to field about, with the shields and everything up, it's got about 11k, so you want to put up 11 mil in here. Obviously it's a lot harder to put 11 mil in a ship with a smaller hold, especially like 30 mil you could probably get away with putting in this, or 50 if you're smart. It depends on the route entirely, but obviously there's a lot of factors to consider, and some people just take the risk, and if you want to take it, go ahead, but don't come crying to people or CCP if you got suicide ganked and lost everything you owned. That's another tip. Obviously it's common sense, this one really, is don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's just not a good idea at all, and if you put them all in one basket, it's Murphy's Law really. If something's gonna go wrong, it will go wrong, and I can guarantee you, especially in the world of Eve, if you carry all your eggs in one basket, it will go wrong eventually, and you will lose everything, and you are not going to be happy. Alright, so I'm actually going to end it here. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, you can give it a like or subscribe. It's free, obviously. If you don't like it, give it a dislike, say why you didn't like it, what I can do better. I'm really looking for constructive feedback. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.